morning, friends. It's a little bit of a cloudy one, so I don't know how much sunrise we're going to see, but if you're lucky, you might see my pictures. So pretty cute those back in the clouds this morning. And it felt like an appropriate day to talk about when you can't feel it, when you can't see it. So you can't see the sunrise this morning, and I think sometimes, even though we talk a lot about hope and we talk a lot about sort of crafting lives in which we can experience peace, experience the divine, talk about different spiritual practices that help us feel closer, connected, calm. And sometimes there are some days when that's amazing, and we're filled with hope, and we're filled with excitement and possibility, even in the face of all that is difficult. And some days we can't feel it. Some days you can't see it. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about those days, because it's just not always easy. And I don't know that there's some particular formula that you or I can do to always feel it. I just don't think that's life. I think the reason we can feel it is because there's days when we can't. And it's being that clear and connected and calm and hopeful. And I think sometimes there's a tendency to blame if we don't feel it. Like, what have I done wrong, or what are other people doing that gets in the way of hope and peace and goodness. And I think we spend a lot of time doing that. Culturally, politically, individually. We want to know whose fault this is. We're the most litigious country in the world. So we want to know whose dang fault it is, and what they're going to do to rectify, how they're going to fix it. And I think that gets in the way. I think it gets in the way of us having that calm, connected, peaceful feeling, of us growing spiritually, emotionally. And I think what it comes down to is when we can't feel it, we just have to decide who and what we're going to do anyway. And it can't be every day. It can't be every day where you kind of, I don't want to say force it, because it also shouldn't be force it, but it can't be every day where you have to kind of act as if. But there's certainly some days where that's true, where you just have to decide who and what you're going to be and do anyway. Some days that looks like rest. There's not a productive and good and bountiful thing to do. Some days you don't have energy. Some days you're ill. And those can be days for me where it's hard to feel that connected feeling. Some days you're just sad, whether something has gone wrong or whether that's just a feeling that bubbles up. It's a human feeling, and it can and will happen. So I just don't think our practices in life and decisions about who we want to be can be based on if we can feel it, if we feel like it, I think the most powerful example I can come up with about that is, Jesus, at the end of his life, he's facing trial and execution, and he doesn't blame anybody. In fact, he forgives people. It doesn't make sense. It is not a math equation or a sort of appropriate judicial precedent, but it's choice. It's a choice he makes. I just think we have so many more choices than we think we do. And so often we back ourselves into our own corners and go, well, I can't do that because look what's going to happen. I can't do this. The truth is, we don't know what's going to happen. We just have to decide who we're going to be anyway. What kind of practices, what kind of life, and be kind and gentle with ourselves along the way. That's what you get. You get you. That's the material you get to work with, is you. Regardless of what anyone else says or does, or the shape of the world, you get to do you. So what are you going to do? Who do you want to be? I've literally gone as far as making a pie chart. Where do I want my time to go? So even when you can't feel it, you know who you want to be anyway. I hope that that can give you some encouragement and some peace, even in the non-peaceful moments. I hope you get a chance to take a deep breath, to take an honest self-reflection, and just to be the kind of person you want to be in the world. Sending you some love today, friends. Grace and peace.